Eu. Eu não iria fazer a missão principal agora. Só que assim que eu fiz as diárias, porque eu não fiz de manhã, eu fiz as diárias agora. Fui na Caterina pra entregar e a missão começou, porque a maioria das missões principal começa na Caterina, né? E acabou começando agora. Ah, e agora eu sou obrigado a fazer. Eu comecei a
Commissions,
gravar aqui
huh?
agora por quê? Porque eu quero
Let me
gravar
think.
a história. Porque, como eu disse pra vocês, eu sempre vou sempre gravar a história agora. Sempre que tiver a história principal. Só que eu não quero, então não podia deixar passar, né? Teria que começar a gravar agora.
Oh,
Infelizmente.
how about
Então,
this?
é isso.
Please attend the Academia's Academic Symposium this afternoon and recite a love poem on stage.
Poema de amor.
Wait, say what now?
And if possible, please also use your camera to capture the reaction of the audience of...
Huh? What kind of commission is that?
Ai, ai.
I see. It appears that you're not in... In that case, please go to Port Ormos and convince the Eremites there to spend some time...
Hey, that's not any better.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure the mercenaries will have some interesting reactions as well.
Meu
I
Deus.
was gonna ask, just who exactly has been submitting these commissions to the Adventurers Guild?
Oh, the commissioner? Well, actually, I just wanted to see the two of you in action.
É, nossa, é a Kusanali. Eu nem percebi que é a Kusanali, meu Deus. Meu Deus.
Was it so
Olha,
obvious?
olha.
I was hoping you would actually
Meu
take one of those
Deus.
commissions.
Eu fui
That
enganado.
kind of chance to observe
Eu fui
humans doesn't come
enganado.
by often. Ah, so it's Nahida. I just knew Catherine wouldn't crack those kinds of jokes. When did you get into her head? From when she said, Ad Astra Abyssosque?
Padrão, Caterine
So it's
roubou.
been you this whole time? Are you done resting up, Nahida? Yes. I've been sleeping ever since we parted ways, and I even had a really, really long dream. It was another dream about the Sub-Zero's festival, except it was a happy one. In my dream, I was sitting in the middle of a flower terrace,
Entendo.
and everyone in Sumeru City was holding hands as they danced in circles around me. They danced round and round, and everyone looked... I also got to sit on a gigantic flower carriage.
Esqueci de
There, they
ativar.
made the flowers,
Esqueci de ativar
raised me
notificação.
really, really high above the ground, and I was throwing an endless amount of Yalda candies at the children. You know, Nahida, maybe your dream is how the Sub-Zero's festival really should be. It's meant to be a joyous time where everyone gets together to celebrate your birthday. Huh? Wasn't I describing a really happy dream? Why are you both looking at me like that? Wait, could this be an example of the emotion known as pity? No, we're not
Interessante.
pitying you. That would only make everything worse. We just don't want you to feel too sad. By the way, have you had a chance to visit Dunyarzad? How's she doing? The Homiyanis haven't allowed any visitors after the festival, so we haven't been able to check on her. Yes, I paid her a visit right after I woke up. She was resting at the time. Her condition is stabilized. However, since Elazar is a manifestation of the withering on the human body, we can only cure it by finding a way to take care of Irminsul's own withering.
Nossa.
But For the moment, our top focus should still be figuring out what the sages are up to and what they're planning.
Right. Who knows what'll happen if they manage to pull off another scheme like the Samsara of the Sub-Zero's festival?
So our first priority should be investigating and putting a stop to the sages' activities. As for how we should pull that off, let's discuss it somewhere else.
Oh, good point. Sorry, adventurers. We're gonna be borrowing Catherine for a little while.
Estão suspeitando de algo. Eu vi alguns passos também, né? Apareceu uns passos, o que será que era? Ué? Ah, mentira. Eu não vou poder completar as diárias. Vai. Nossa. Ah, não. Aí você tá me tirando. Não, não é possível. Ô, véi, como é que eu vou completar as diárias? Não, isso foi sacanagem. Isso foi muita sacanagem da meu olho.
Let's continue our chat here.
Okay, so do you have any ideas on how we can investigate the sages, Nahida?
Actually, I've already done a little bit of work on that. But for now, I want to hear your thoughts.
Você é uma pessoa. Possui uma pessoa chave na academia. E se possuíssemos um estudante para nos infiltrarmos nos aposentos de um sábio? E se pegarmos alguém próximo dos sábios para fazer uma interrogação? O segundo.
No way, that's too risky.
You mean it'd be too easy to get caught?
No, it's not that. We shouldn't involve innocent students in
Verdade,
this.
verdade.
A single mistake could
Tem
completely
razão.
ruin their lives.
Não deve mesmo.
Doing that would be ignoring the safety of my people for my own selfish goals. How is that any different from what the sages are doing?
That's a good point.
Tem razão.
Something like the God of Sumeru.
Eu não pensei nisso, não. Sim, ela falou como uma divindade, nossa.
I've already tried that, but all the key members of the academia, even the core 30 guards, it seems that from the very beginning, they've been guarding against info leaks from the Akasha.
Have you already caught the sage's attention?
I'm guessing not yet, but distrusting me would make perfect sense. In any case, I probably can't take over their minds. We're in the dark as of now. Since we still don't know anything about their goals, any rash move could tip them off and lead to terrible consequences.
Pô, então não tem nenhuma opção.
Every person in Sumeru City is one of their
Todas não vai
hostages.
funcionar então, todas. Não consigo pensar em mais nada.
Are we really out of ideas? Nahida, you're super smart, so you already have something in mind, right? Don't keep us in suspense. Spill the beans already.
According to a popular theory from the Bahumana Darshan of the Academia, rejecting impractical motions at the beginning of a planning session will give more weight to the actual proposal.
Okay, but aren't you the God of Wisdom? You don't have to use that kind of gimmick to make us take your ideas seriously.
Well, I've I've been thinking that if I can't directly possess the leaders, and if I can't get ordinary people involved, then I should find someone who's already involved, but hasn't decided to side with the sages.
You're saying we should recruit a spy? That does sound like it could work. Oh, before coming back, we met someone named Al-Hatham. He seems like he acts alone, and he likes doing stuff behind
O
the
Arraita
academia's back.
mencionou o
We
Arraita.
probably aren't in cahoots.
Actually, I already have someone in mind. Do you still remember that female scholar named Sataria?
Sataria. Paimon remembers now. Isn't she the one who's always trailing behind the Grand Sage of the Acad? We ran into her basically every time the Subzerwas Festival repeated itself. You could even say we're old enemies by now. Paimon still remembers the smug and mean way she always spoke to Nilu.
I've always liked observing all kinds of people, and Sataria has always stood out from the crowd. She was born in the desert and was hailed as their greatest genius. Her academic gifts allowed her special admission into the academia.
Oh, Paimon
Eu não
didn't
estou
know she was from
lembrando
the
quem é
desert.
Cetária.
She must be pretty
Eu realmente
special
não
then.
estou lembrando.
Paimon feels like most of the desert dwellers around the city are working as mercenaries.
The name Sataria means star. When she lived in the desert, she shone like the brightest star in the night sky. Later on, she was chosen by the sun. The star soon after. The star witnessed the sun scorching the earth, which brought the star began to waver. Instead of staying beside such a sun, wouldn't it be better to return? But in the end, she couldn't give up the radiance of daytime. To cope with her shame, the star buried her guilt and closed her eyes.
Será só uma metáfora? Esses são os pensamentos reais de Cetária.
From the sound of it, Sataria's just hung up on the research opportunities here. But she doesn't really support the academia. She still feels guilty about not doing more for the desert, right? She's just running away from her problem.
Indeed. When they are presented with complex moral issues, many people will simply plug their ears and go with the flow until the problem can't be fixed anymore. She's suppressing a lot of guilt, but before she realized it, she had already become the sage's accomplice. She can't deny her part in their schemes anymore. Right. We must somehow make her face her problems again. That way, not only can we get useful intel from her, but she can also use it as an opportunity to redeem herself. From my past observations, Sataria will take a day off from the academia every 10 days to do some shopping in the city. Tomorrow afternoon just happens to be a shopping day for her. That'll be our chance. To prepare, let's go check out some of her favorite spots, and have a quick chat with a few of the vendors there.
Interessante. Ali nem tá falando. F. F de área.
This should be Sataria's favorite fortune-telling spot. So... No, I already have enough information on Sataria. The most important thing now is for you to pay attention to
Talking style and keep...
My poor lost lambs. Have you become troubled over your fates? The divine voice of wisdom often echoes between mine ears. If thou be blessed today by the gods, I may be able to show you the way.
Huh? Really? Nahida, you've been whispering things to her?
Shh. My friend here has some doubts regarding his future. Can we get a fortune reading for him?
Uh-huh. It would seem that Harut and Marut are quite wary of you. Perhaps, at some time in the past, you have somehow offended the gods.
Only mocking the god of Animo, questioning the lord of Geo's
Oh, nothing. Go on, pick an aspect for her to divine.
Love prospects? No problem at all. The gods have spoken. One who is fated to cross your path will appear on...
Que isso? Mihoyo confirmou um harém? Mihoyo confirmou um harém? Que isso, Mihoyo? Mihoyo? Eu não esperava isso de você, Mihoyo. Confirmando um harém? Não. Meu Deus, Mihoyo. Eu não esperava isso de você, não.
Harut! Marut! Did you two spoil my divination? I've never read...
Actually, Paimon thinks this is probably the most accurate fortune-telling you've ever done.
I admit that the orientation of today's celestial matrix is,
Is that so? Well, that can't be helped.
If you were to bring some food offerings for Harut and Marut on your next visit, perhaps they could help you reverse the wheels of fate.
Is this another one of Sataria's favorite stalls?
Yep, it belongs to a king. His father helped Sataria a lot when she first moved to Sumeru City, so she still comes by whenever she has time. When I start talking with him, listen carefully to the details of our conversation.
Ah, dear customers! Would you like to look at some pottery?
We caught wind of your great craftsmanship, so we specifically came to take a look.
Oh, I recognize you. Aren't you Miss Catherine from the Adventurers Guild? Sounds like I'm in for some big business.
Speaking of, where did you learn this trade?
I suppose you could say it all started with my dad. He's a mason by trade, but I picked up an interest in... After that, I began making pottery by myself in secret. And I simply changed trades when my works turned out well. Although it's a pity that I'm no longer making...
That's nice. You're making a living doing something you love.
So is your father still working as a mason?
Oh no, not anymore. A few years back, he fell from a roof and broke his leg. Since he had already saved enough more...
I see. We wish him peace and happiness in his retirement. I'll have someone in charge of logistics at the guild come by another day for some goods.
No problem. Rest easy, all our goods are...
Ok, já deu 20 minutos. Eu vou parando o vídeo por aqui. Bom, infelizmente não vai dar pra eu completar a missão diária agora. Então... dizem adeus pra missão. Na real, eu queria logo que a Nárida com os análises saísse do corpo da Caterine, só pra completar essa missão diária. Meu Deus, mas tá impossível.
This should be our final stop. Sataria's always thinking of this restaurant when she's working at the academia.
Nahida, you've really...
It's my duty to protect Sumeru's citizens.
Que lindo proteger o
Hi there.
povo de Sumer.
I feel like I've seen you down by the docks before. Huh? Sorry, if I recall, you were having a discussion with someone about shipbuilding at the time.
Ah, that's right! I've always been really interested in feats of marine engineering. After all, I grew up in Liyue Harbor and spent my entire childhood staring at the ships. But I'm still discussing all kinds of problems with different scholars. And I'm continuing to study and perform research from the restaurant's basement. I'm sure I'll get to the academia after their next round of exams.
What an admirable spirit for learning! Amazing!
Sure. But you'll find hardworking people wherever you go.
So this restaurant has a basement as well? Huh. First I've heard of it.
That's right. It's not usually open to patrons. Most of the time, employees use it for breaks or to hold private events.
I see. Yes, that makes sense.
Thank you so much.
Olha, agora vou ter que falar com ela. Provavelmente ela vai sair no corpo dela. Será, finalmente? Finalmente vai sair do corpo dela?
So, was that everybody?
Mm-hmm. 3 familiar...
What's the point of all the information we've...
Sataria is already used to avoiding her problems. I remember that you mentioned that the Eremites in Port Ormos are all making a fuss about the upcoming resurrection of the Scarlet King.
Tá um nome bem pequenininho ali. Rei Desirate.
Although it's all just a boatload of nonsense, the fate of her homeland may turn out to be Sataria's soft spot.
Oh, Paimon gets it now! You want to take advantage of the guilt. Although she knows she should return home to help the people of the desert, all she's done is conspire with the sages.
Sei lá o que eu coloco.
So, how do we set that up?
Well, the Scarlet King is long gone, And Sitaria is also too smart to fall for any simple tricks. If we simply engaged her under the guise of the Scarlet King's believers, she would definitely be wary of us, and we may not get anywhere. But if we were to borrow some of her close acquaintances to
Ela
talk
destruindo
with
a
her,
árvore
her
errada.
reaction would probably
Árvore
be
errada,
very
meu Deus do
different.
céu. Desculpem. É que eu tô quase caindo. Quase caindo no sono. É sério mesmo. Ela tá boiando, tá começando a boiar já. Daqui a pouco eu não vou nem entender nada que eu tô lendo.
So, you mean you're going to possess those people we just...
Yep. Possess them through the Akasha. Imply that they've already converted to the faith of the Scarlet. As long as everything goes smoothly, we'll get through to Sitar.
Ah, so that's how you're going to use all the info we collected on these people. It's so that you won't slip up and break form. Possessing them will only work if...
Exactly. So, best of luck with impersonating them.
Huh? Best of luck? But we don't know how to possess anyone.
That's no problem at all. I'll just share all their senses with you once I've possessed them. As long as you're also wearing an Akasha terminal, the effect will basically be as if you've possessed them yourself.
Huh. That is pretty convenient.
Although I've been observing humans for a while, I've never been good.
You're not wrong.
If it was at all possible, I would have preferred to leave these people alone.
Yeah, don't beat yourself up over it. We're only doing this to help everyone, and we'll only be borrowing them for a little while anyway.
Alright, then let's give it a go.
Será que acabou? Olha, daqui a pouco tá quase. Daqui a pouco tá quase ganhou. Caindo desse jeito. Será que dá pra pegar diária agora?
Next on the agenda.
Mentira, dá? Não dá pra cá.
We're way behind schedule.
Dá pra lá. F. Pronto.
Should we really?
Meu Deus, onde é que eu tô? Olha isso. Eu não tava nem prestando atenção. O olho tava fechado já. E quando eu vi, eu tava atrás disso aqui. Meu Deus, como é que eu saí daqui agora? Vocês vendo o vídeo vão rir muito.
Here she comes. Let's quietly follow. As for how we'll sway her to our side, I'll leave that to you.
Looks like they've already started talking. Let's find a hiding spot and get started.
Que doideira. Nossa,
That's right. You really can't
fez
force
referência à
anything when it
possessão da
comes to love.
sombra.
And
Fez
besides,
referência, não,
everyone around
fez
me has a
referência ao
very
jutsu
different
da
background
Ino,
and
o jutsu
outlook.
da Ino.
Are you still listening to me, Nabia?
Oh, of course I'm listening. You were talking about troubles with your love life, right? I heard everything you said.
Okay then. You just seemed a little distracted for a moment there. Strange. Your cats seem pretty worked up. Is something wrong? I always thought they were quiet, happy kitties. Oh, what are their names again?
É Haruchi e Maruchi, eu acho.
Ah, that's right. They're just little darlings, aren't they? Hard.
So, which fortune do you want me to read for you today? You must have come for another
I'd like to get another reading on my love prospects, but to be perfectly honest with you, I feel like I've been a real mess recently.
a mess?
Well, could you do a reading on how long it'll take me to finish my current project at work? I really just want to get it over with.
I hear you. No problem at all. But
Os deuses falaram.
the gods are asking. Sitaria, why haven't you gone home?
Why haven't I gone home? Do the gods really know everything I've been thinking about?
Sitaria, why don't you just go home? It's a demand now instead of a question. The gods seem to be
I'm sorry. I know I failed the gods. Please pass on my most sincere apologies and ask for their divine forgiveness. And if I may ask, Nabia, is there a specific god who's speaking to you right now?
What an inconsiderate and naive question. The god who is speaking to me is, of course, the wisest and mightiest of all, the Scarlet King.
The Scarlet King? No wonder he would make such a demand of me. Oh, even though news of the Scarlet King's resurrection has been spreading like wildfire, it's all just a misinformation campaign from the academia. How can the Scarlet King still exist in real life?
What insolence! I am the Scarlet King's most loyal believer.
Oh, no. As a child of the desert, I am only reveling in his power upon learning that his divine glory has touched even this city. I will think very carefully about his demand of me. I'm sorry. I must go now.
Wait!
Whoa! She just ran off in a hurry. She looked pretty upset, too.
Well done. Sitaria didn't seem to suspect anything amiss. To have something she's been trying desperately to avoid show up out of nowhere and berate her, that must have shaken her to the core.
Aw, Nahida.
All I know are some abstract Harvard-taught theories. In any case... Anyway, enough of that.
She's out of King's now.
Será
Right
que
on
agora
cue.
deu?
Let's get ready to possess him right away.
Ah, de novo.
It's okay. I just got caught up in something. Oh, actually, didn't you ask me to help you look for work? What kind of work were you looking for again? Gardening? But don't you hate everything to do with plants? I still remember getting mad at you for secretly throwing away the bonsai that I gave you as a present.
You see, a friend told me that the secret to self-improvement is to work on things.
Fair enough. I didn't think that was something you would consider. Speaking of, how's he doing? Is he feeling any better?
Está muito melhor. Está caminhando um pouco mais também.
Huh? Wasn't he nursing a leg injury? If I recall correctly.
He sprained his arm a while back while trying to show.
Actually, while we're talking about it,
Yeah, he's been retired.
if you could find that he has a quick temper and has always been a devout follower of the Dendro Archon. I don't want him to get into a fight with those Scarlet King believers because of a difference in beliefs.
Oh? So, who are you siding with in all of this? The academia or...
I...
I'm so jealous of you. You were born a child of the desert, yet you chose to betray the
Akeem! You don't mean...
What's so strange about becoming a believer of the wise Scarlet King? In fact, aren't you the strange one?
Can't pick a side? Me?
Whoa. Paimon had no idea you'd be so good at this.
Pera, era eu? Era o meu personagem falando? Eu nem sabia.
You really zeroed in on the issue and put it right in front of her. It might feel a bit overwhelming for Satari, but once everything is...
Come on! Satari has already started talking with Shishan.
Tá demorando, hein? Tá demorando. Eu só quero pegar a missão diária, fechar a live. Não fechar a live não, fechar o vídeo. Terminar o vídeo
So, Shishan,
e
have
assistir
you
algo.
noticed anything weird in the city lately?
Mas tá difícil.
Like, as if someone was trying to preach to you about something?
Não vou falar por não.
Oh, right. Speaking, I celebrated the Sub-Zerus festival, so...
Wait, how could you be aware of that? That should be impossible. Nothing in the report...
Are you still failing to realize that the academia...
Shishan, don't tell me that...
What an absurd question. You make it sound like I... In reality, shouldn't you?
Please, please stop!
Fui embora.
Even now, Satori is still trying to run from her problems.
She can no longer justify everything to herself.
Hey, she's trying to talk to the guards! What should we do?
This is the most important part of all. Quick, get ready.
Mercenary, you're a member of the Corps of 30, correct? Please help me pass a message to the Matcha right away. The situation in the city is getting out of control.
Please, try to remain calm, miss. Tell me what's happening in the city.
Heretics are infiltrating the city, and they've already converted many residents to their side.
Heretics? What kind of heresy are you talking about?
The Scarlet King! Many people I know have suddenly started believing in him.
Bem
He's
inteligente
long
na
dead. It's impossible.
coisa ali.
Miss Sataria, nothing.
You know my name?
The Scarlet King is immortal. You must face the truth, Sataria. You tread a treacherous path, and child of the Scarlet King, never forget that the desert that belongs to you lies elsewhere.
What's so strange about becoming a believer of the wise Scarlet King? In fact, aren't you the strange one? The one who still can't pick a side?
What an absurd question. You make it sound like I should be ashamed for becoming a believer of the Scarlet King.
Sataria, why haven't you gone home?
Vai ter surto. Ela vai ter surto.
It seems that no matter where I run, I only keep finding more believers of the Scarlet King. I've also been running from my guilt this whole time. Guilt over my part in the Sage's plans, and from ignoring the letters from the children of my homeland. But no matter how much I may try to ignore or get rid of it, my guilt always comes back.
You won't necessarily lose your research
Eu
opportunities by
selecionei sem
facing
ver.
the truth.
Eu tinha apagado, meu
Besides,
Deus.
did you really want to conduct your research while
Ou eu
carrying
tinha
such heavy
fechado.
feelings of guilt?
How do you know me so well? Are you
That's not important. The important thing is to pass judgment on the academia and its sages, and to correct their mistakes. If you could provide some assistance in this matter, perhaps you could
I've actually never believed in the gods, but I've always believed in serendipity. Your appearance must be a fated opportunity for me to get out of... Please tell me, what can I do for you?
How much do you know about...
I was just one of the designers for the map, but I know very little about the full scope of the overall project. I've just been working to meet the Grand Sages. However, there's something that's been really bothering me. I heard that a scholar who was previously expelled has returned to the city, and even the sages are still quite wary of him.
To fight against the academia, we will need to figure out the nature and the purpose of their work. Is there a way for us to get
It should be possible if we're willing to take some risks. After all, I'm an assistant to the Grand Sage, and I've been working on many tasks up. One thing, though, I won't be able to transfer the documents to you through the Akasha once I get my hands on them. The sages have always
Tá longa essa
let me
conversa, hein?
see. Let's use the most primitive method. Send someone to pick up the documents tomorrow evening at the
academia entrance? Wouldn't that be too
Don't worry about that. I assure you, I'm only suggesting this location because it'll draw more scrutiny for me to leave the academia again. It'll be safest for me to distract the guards long enough to hand you the documents.
All right, I trust you.
So,
That'll depend on...
the Dendro Archon. That's right. Her people are the ones we have endangered. As the god of wisdom, she's also the one responsible for judging and guiding the scholars. Maybe it's
Tá
time for me
difícil
to
se
find a god to
manter,
believe
tá
in.
difícil.
Just as Nahida predicted, we've managed to...
The Traveler's execution was in... Well, now that we've made plans to meet again tomorrow evening...
Pray? But if we're going to pray to the gods...
Hmm?
Será que agora dá? Será? Não, não é pra cá não.
Time to go. Yeah.
Meu Deus. Era pra ter ido o horário, mas não foi. Ainda tô pedindo o dia seguinte. Não entendo esse jogo. Eu não entendo esse jogo. Então. Finalmente! Nossa, finalmente! Ah não! Ah não!
Catherine, we're here!
That's right. I suppose I'm the other Catherine in your mind.
Shh! We're on a secret mission tonight, so we need to protect...
Yep, Paimon's right. We cannot fully rule out the chance that the meetup tonight is just if something were to happen. After all, the academia should still be unable to confirm the existence.
Yep, exactly. Just what Paimon was thinking. Anyway, enough about that. Let's just make sure to be on our guard. Off? What do you feel is off? It's the...
No, I think he's right. If you look around, there seems to be fewer people on the streets. I'm not sure if this is the case for the entire city, though.
Respeito demais.
Huh. Maybe it's just a coincidence. Maybe Sataria figured out a way to not only distract the guards...
I also can't quite figure out why things feel a little off. But now that we're here, let's go ahead and meet her as we planned.
Well, regardless.
Ah, mas nem fudendo. Nossa, que ódio. Não vou poder pegar. Ah, não. Nossa, você me odeia. Eu
Time to go.
você me odeia. Não é possível.
Huh. There really aren't many people out right now. Let's hope it'll be this quiet in front of the academia, and that Sataria managed to distract all the guards.
Ah, nossa, nunca odiei tanto uma missão. E oi, nossa senhora. Não posso nem teleportar pra cima.
Into the wind. One with nature. The wind knows me. Follow the wind. Time to go.
Ah, é a vida, né? Cutscene, cutscene. Aí eu gostei. Aí eu gostei.
What are all these people doing here at this hour of the night?
Que estranho.
Ah, the triumphant hero returns at last. And to a rather spectacular
Não
welcome,
creio.
even if I do say so myself.
You're the outcast, expelled from the academia.
Indeed I
creio.
am. Although these days they tend to call
É o
me
Doutor.
the Doctor.
É o Doutor. O Doutor. O
If you're looking
Doutor.
for your researcher friend, she has already been
Meu
taken into
Deus.
confinement. With some basic caution, she could have discovered the listening device on her
acredito.
person. Clearly, she lacks the degree of rigor expected of a true scholar.
The people of Sumeru City. What have you done to them?
I simply made some minor adjustments to their Akasha terminals. Now they can deposit information directly into the subconscious. As you can
Nossa.
see, all these lovely people now believe this traveler is a hero who has just saved the world. My experiment is a success. And now it seems they can no longer hold back their sheer adoration.
No, what should we do? These are all just regular people.
Leave now. You need to get out of here.
But that guy's a Fatui Harbinger. We can't just leave you here.
Nor can I abandon the people of Sumeru.
Você tá gastando aí poder dela. Não faça isso, Kusanagi, não faça isso.
Don't worry. We'll meet again outside of the city.
I see. You appear to have overridden their mental faculties with your own consciousness. To possess such a powerful mind, you must be the god of wisdom.
Doutor e filho da puta. Mas eu gostei de ver ele na cena, nossa. Amei. Quero matar ele. Quero muito matar ele. Nossa, quero muito matar ele. 1 hora de vídeo, né? Ia ser 20 minutos. Mas chegou a 1 hora. A culpa não é minha, né? A culpa é da Caterine, que não. Não. É. A culpa é da Mayhoyo, que não botou a Caterine ali. Podia ter deixado ela ali, mesmo
Should be far enough.
ela de Kusanagi.
Emma needs to catch her breath first. Is Nahida going to be okay? We only made it out because of her. Paimon wasn't counting on running into a new Harbinger here, let alone such a high-ranking one. That guy was number 2. So scary.
Sim, número 2 ainda.
He called himself the Doctor. Remember, Tainari told us about him. Sataria did say that someone who once got expelled from the academia came back recently. And that even the sages are wary of him. Yep, sounds like she must have been talking about the Doctor. Yeah, now that the Doctor's in the picture, we're no longer just dealing with the academia, but what are the
Sim,
Fatui after
horrível.
this time? Another Gnosis? Yeah, things would be a lot easier with Nahida's help. Nahida said we'll meet again outside of the city, but we can't just keep waiting around, right? You mean... Oh, right! Wasn't he invited by the sages to work on some project when we were staying with him? Even though he turned it down at the time, he might still know something. There's no time to lose. Let's go to Gandharvaville.
Que bom. Só que dá agora? Eu vou tentar. Só pra ver se ela aparece. Vamos ver.
Time to go.
Apareceu. Nossa, muito obrigado, velho. Pelo amor de Deus. Obrigado ao caralho. Mas mesmo assim, obrigado por pelo menos deixar ela aqui agora. Não aguentava mais. O quê? Tá me
Ad
zoando.
Astra Abyssosk. Thank you for
Eu tava pulando essa missão, não vi.
Ad Astra.
Bom, gente, é isso. Eu espero que tenham gostado do vídeo. Doutor apareceu no final. E vamos terminar o vídeo. Vou postar ele agora, não sei quando sai, mas é isso. Tamo junto. Falou e até a próxima.